Believe it or not, some of the best foods for helping keep your dog's teeth cleaner may already be in your kitchen. Most dog owners overlook them completely. In this video, you'll learn which foods can help fight plaque and tartar naturally. And by the end, I want to know which one surprised you enough to give your dog tonight. Number 1, raw carrot. You probably hand your dog the odd carrot as a treat, but mushy, cooked, or sliced into little coins, it does almost nothing. Whole and raw is where the magic lives. When a dog gnaws a firm raw carrot stick, that fibrous texture drags along the tooth like a natural toothbrush, peeling soft plaque away before it can harden. It's crunchy, low in calories, and most dogs treat it like a trophy. Give it as one long stick, never chopped, so he's forced to grind with his back teeth, exactly where tartar loves to hide. Supervise the first few times so he chews instead of gulping. This is the closest thing to brushing that doesn't end in a wrestling match at the bathroom sink. But the next one sounds completely backwards because it's greasy and you'd swear it's the last thing you'd ever want near a tooth. Coconut oil. And yet that greasy little spoon does something strange. A small amount of plain coconut oil is packed with lauric acid, a natural compound that breaks down the protective shield bacteria build around themselves to survive. Stir a tiny amount, about 1/4 teaspoon for a small dog, half for a large one, into his water or food. Suddenly the bacteria that harden into plaque have nowhere safe to hide. Most owners spoon it in for a shiny coat and never realize they're disarming the exact germs rotting their dog's gums. One warning though, too much fat upsets some dogs' stomachs, so start small and build up slowly. And what comes next is something you've walked past in the grocery store 100 times without a second glance: curly parsley. That green garnish restaurants toss on a plate and everyone ignores? For your dog, it's a quiet weapon. Fresh curly parsley, and it has to be curly, never the spring kind, which is toxic to dogs, is loaded with chlorophyll, the same thing that neutralizes the sulfur compounds making his breath smell like something died. But it does far more than mask the odor. Chopped fine and stirred into his water or dinner, it hunts the bacteria at the source instead of just covering them up. A pinch is all a small dog needs. Here's the part that catches people off guard. That doggy breath everyone laughs about isn't normal at all. It's the smell of infection brewing. Fix the smell honestly and you're fixing what's underneath it. Now, the next one comes in a tea bag. But grab the wrong kind and it turns dangerous. Green tea. There's a drink in your cupboard that fights mouth bacteria in humans, and it works on dogs too, with one strict rule. Green tea is full of catechins, antioxidants that slow the growth of the bacteria-building plaque. Brew it weak, let it cool completely, and add just a splash to his water bowl. But read this twice. It must be decaffeinated. Caffeine is genuinely poisonous to dogs, and regular tea can do real harm. Get the caffeine-free kind, and you've got a nearly free daily rinse working from the inside out. Most people would never imagine their morning drink could guard their dog's gums. Yet here we are. Keep it weak, keep it cool, keep it caffeine-free. And the next thing isn't something you add at all. It's something you've been doing wrong every single day without even noticing. Clean bowl and fresh water. This one costs nothing, and it's the thing almost everyone gets wrong. Run your finger along the inside of your dog's water bowl. Feel that slimy film? That's biofilm, a living colony of bacteria. And every single time he drinks, he recoats his freshly licked teeth in it. You can add every remedy on this list, but if the bowl is filthy, you're filling a leaking bucket. Wash it in hot water daily, not weekly. Switch to filtered water if your tap runs hard, because mineral-heavy water actually speeds up how fast plaque hardens into stone. Twice a day, fresh bowl, fresh water. It feels far too simple to matter. But this one habit quietly undoes half the damage the others are working to fight. But the next thing isn't about the surface at all. It works on a hidden battlefield you can't even see. Probiotics and kefir. Here's where it turns invisible. Your dog's mouth isn't just teeth. It's an entire ecosystem of bacteria, some helpful, some destructive. When the bad ones take over, plaque accelerates. A small spoon of plain, unsweetened kefir or a dog-specific oral probiotic floods his mouth with good bacteria that crowd the harmful ones out. Think of it as sending in reinforcements instead of just mopping up the mess. Plain is the word that matters. Flavored or sweetened versions can hide ingredients that hurt him. Just a teaspoon mixed into his food slowly shifts the balance over weeks, not minutes. So patience is the price of entry. Most owners obsess over scrubbing the surface and never think to fix the war raging underneath. Stick with it, and you're rebuilding his defenses from the ground up. The next one is a liquid your grandmother probably swore by: bone broth. Bone broth has been a kitchen healer for generations, and for your dog, it's a clever delivery trick. On its own, it won't scrape a single tooth, but a splash of warm, homemade broth turns every other remedy on this list into something he actually wants to drink. The catch is enormous, so listen closely. It must be homemade, with no onion, no garlic, and no added salt. Store-bought broth is packed with all three, and onion and garlic are toxic to dogs. Simmer plain bones in water, strain it, cool it. Done. Pour a little over his food or into his water, and suddenly the fussy dog who refused the parsley laps the whole bowl clean. It's the spoonful of sugar that makes the medicine go down, just without the sugar. And the next thing you'll stir into that very broth targets the one place the buildup hurts him most: his gums. Turmeric. This next addition is a pinch of something golden. Turmeric. A tiny amount stirred into that homemade broth carries curcumin, a natural anti-inflammatory that calms the red, swollen gums hiding behind the buildup. Sore gums are where the real pain lives, and easing them makes everything else more comfortable for him. Use a pinch, never a scoop, and pair it with a little fat, like that coconut oil, so his body can actually absorb it. Remember, none of these work once. This is a daily rhythm, not a weekend fix. Pick a few that suit your dog, rotate them, and stay consistent for a few weeks. That's when you'll watch the breath soften and the teeth brighten. Slowly, exactly like the title promised. But there's one more addition almost nobody has heard of, and it doesn't come from your kitchen at all. It comes from the ocean. Seaweed, kelp. It sounds like something off a beach, not a vet's shelf. And that's exactly why it works so quietly. A specific dried seaweed called Ascophyllum nodosum, the same kelp hiding inside many dental supplements, does something almost no kitchen trick can. Sprinkle a tiny measured amount over his food, and its compounds travel through the bloodstream into the saliva, softening plaque from the inside so it wipes away far easier. It's one of the very few additives with real studies behind it, not just kitchen folklore. Use only a dog-dosed product and follow the label exactly, because too much iodine isn't good for him. Most owners have never even heard of it, yet it's quietly doing the work inside those expensive powders on the shelf. A weed from the ocean, beating what brushing struggles to reach. But the next one isn't free. It's the single product on this entire list I'd actually tell you to spend money on. Enzymatic water additive. And here's exactly why it earns that spot. Plus the one trick that stops you from throwing the money away. A vet-approved enzymatic water additive goes right into the bowl, no fight required, releasing enzymes that break down plaque as your dog drinks throughout the day. But the shelves are flooded with useless ones making big promises. Here's the shortcut that saves you. Look for the VOHC seal, the Veterinary Oral Health Council mark. That seal means it actually passed real testing, not just clever marketing. Follow the dosing on the label, keep the bowl clean like we covered earlier, and it works silently in the background all day long. It's the closest thing to effortless on this entire list. One small habit at the bowl, doing its job while you do absolutely nothing. The next one, your dog will think is pure playtime. Dental chews. Some of the best dental work your dog will ever do, he'll think is just a treat. A good dental chew is built with ridges and texture that scrape the tooth as he gnaws, and many carry enzymes that keep working long after he's finished. Again, hunt for that VOHC seal, so you know it's tested and not just shaped to look the part. Two cautions though. These add real calories, so trim his meals to match, And avoid the rock-hard ones that can crack a tooth. If you can't dent it with your fingernail, it's too hard for his. Give one a day, ideally after his biggest meal, right when plaque starts forming. To him, it's a reward. To his teeth, it's a daily cleaning. The whole trick is making the medicine feel like the fun part, and the next thing turns one of his favorite toys into a toothbrush. Chew toys. His toy box might already hold a dental tool he plays with for free. Certain rubber chew toys covered in nubs and ridges, or even a simple rope toy, scrub the teeth every time he works them. Those rope fibers act almost like floss as he chews. Unlike treats, there are no calories and nothing runs out, so he can go at it as long as he likes. Just pick the right size so he can't swallow a piece, and toss any toy the moment it starts shredding. Smear a little of that coconut oil down into the grooves, and suddenly he can't put it down. It's the rare dental habit that costs you nothing and entertains him at the same time. Play and prevention bundled into one chewy package, but the next one is for the dog whose gums have already started to ache. Chamomile. If your dog's gums look red or tender, this gentle one is made for him. A weak chamomile tea, brewed light, cooled completely, and added as a small splash to his water, has a naturally calming, mildly antibacterial effect that soothes irritated gums. It's the very same reason it settles an upset human stomach, working quietly on the inflammation hiding under the buildup. Keep it weak and occasional, and check with your vet first if he's on any medication. It won't scrub a tooth, but a comfortable mouth is a mouth your dog will actually let you wipe and care for. Sometimes the goal isn't to attack the plaque at all. It's to ease the soreness so everything else finally becomes possible. And the next one is a warming spice that fights the same fire from a completely different angle. Ginger. Right next to that turmeric in your spice rack sits another quiet healer. Ginger. A tiny pinch of fresh grated ginger, stirred into his food or that homemade broth, brings natural anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties that calm sore gums from the inside out. It also settles the stomach, so even the dog who gets queasy from new additions tends to handle it well. The rule, as always, is tiny, a pinch, never a spoonful, and pair it with food so it stays gentle on him. Think of turmeric and ginger as a two-person team working the same problem from different angles. Less inflammation, fewer bacteria, calmer gums, small warming spices doing slow, steady repair work day after day. And the last addition flips that completely. Instead of warming him, it cools him down on a hot day while it cleans. Frozen broth cubes. Here's a clever one that cools him down and cleans him up at the very same time. Freeze that homemade broth into cubes, or freeze a whole raw carrot and hand it over on a warm day. The long, slow chewing scrubs the teeth while it soothes the gums, and he'll adore you for it. It's the treat that does double duty, keeping him busy and his teeth working all at once. But before you run off and start trying any of these, there's one hard truth you need to hear, because it changes how you use every single thing on this list. The truth about tartar. Now, the hard truth, nobody selling miracle powders will ever tell you. Everything so far slows plaque, the soft, sticky stage. But once plaque sits long enough, it hardens into tartar, that yellow-brown cement locked onto the tooth. And no liquid, no oil, no broth on earth dissolves hardened tartar. Anyone promising that is lying to your face. What these things actually do is buy time. They stop fresh plaque from ever reaching that stage. So if your dog already has thick brown buildup, he needs a real cleaning, and these become his protection afterward, not instead of it. This is the part vets genuinely wish more owners understood. Prevention is cheap, but waiting is what costs you a $400 procedure and costs your dog a few of his teeth. Catch it early. The next one takes you 10 seconds a day. The 10-second wipe. You don't need a toothbrush and a full-blown wrestling match to make a dent. Wrap a little damp gauze around your finger or grab a dog dental wipe and run it along the outside of his teeth for 10 seconds while you're already petting him. That's it. The gum line, right where tooth meets gum, is where tartar gets its first grip, and it's the one spot every additive struggles to reach. A quick daily wipe physically lifts that film off before it sets like concrete. Do it during cuddle time and he'll read it as affection, not a chore. Start with just the front teeth and work your way back as he relaxes. 10 seconds a day beats one terrifying vet visit a year, and he trusts your hands far more than any strangers. Just 10 seconds, every single day. That's the one habit that quietly ties all of this together. One important thing before you go, please don't feed your dog all of these in a single day. That's far too much at once, and it'll upset his stomach instead of helping him. The real secret is rotating just 2 or 3 at a time, which is exactly why I put together a simple day-by-day plan. If you want it, comment, "I need the rotation plan" right below and I'll make sure it reaches you. And tell me which one you're trying first. The carrot, the seaweed, that 10-second wipe. Then drop a paw and your dog's name. Take care of that mouth.